James was 34 when the year 2025 decided to test him like never before. He had spent the last decade building what he believed was a solid life. A steady job as a software developer at a mid-sized tech firm, a comfortable apartment in the city, a close group of friends who shared his passion for weekend hikes, and a 2-year relationship with Sarah that felt like it was heading somewhere serious. His routine was predictable and reassuring. Early morning coffee, commute, coding, meetings, home by evening, dinner together, maybe a movie or a quiet walk. James liked predictability. Coming from a modest family where money had always been tight, he had worked hard to reach this point of stability.
In his mid-30s, he finally felt like he had made it. But stability, he would soon learn, is fragile. It began with rumors at the office, whispers of budget cuts, talks of market downturns. Then came the emails, the emergency meetings. The company, battered by economic uncertainty and rising competition from AI-driven startups, announced a major restructuring.
On a rainy Tuesday afternoon, James sat in his home office, staring at his screen as the email loaded. "We regret to inform you that your position has been eliminated, effective immediately." The words blurred. His heart raced. 10 years of dedication, late nights fixing critical bugs, projects that had earned praise and bonuses, all gone in a single email, replaced by a modest severance package and a generic thank you. At first, he was numb. He closed the laptop, walked to the window, and watched rain streak down the glass.
The city carried on, cars splashing through puddles, people hurrying under umbrellas, as if nothing had changed. He called Sarah, his voice flat, telling her the news. She was supportive, promising they would figure it out together. But inside, James felt a fracture form in the foundation he had spent years building. That night, sleep escaped him. He lay awake, mind spinning with questions. How would he cover rent? The car loan? What would he tell his parents, his friends? The days that followed were a blur of job applications. James polished his resume, wrote tailored cover letters, reached out on LinkedIn. Responses were slow, rejections polite but swift, or worse, silence. The tech job market was flooded, companies cautious. His savings, once a comfortable buffer, began to shrink alarmingly fast. Bills arrived like clockwork, each one a reminder of his vulnerability.
Sarah tried to help, suggesting ways to cut expenses, but tension grew. Small disagreements turned into arguments about money, about plans, about the future. One evening, after another day of fruitless interviews, James snapped at her suggestion to take a lower-paying role temporarily. "I've worked too hard to settle," he said sharply. Sarah looked hurt. "I'm trying to support you, but you're pushing me away." That night, she packed an overnight bag and left for her sister's house, saying she needed space to think. Alone in the apartment, the silence pressed in. James poured himself a drink, then another, seeking temporary escape. Memories surfaced unbidden. His father's job loss when he was 10, the family struggling to make ends meet, the fear that had hung over their home. "I swore I'd never be in that position," he thought bitterly. But here he was, teetering on the edge. Friends checked in, offering encouragement. "You'll land on your feet. You're talented." But the words rang hollow. He stopped going on hikes, lacked the energy. Social media became unbearable. Everyone else seemed to be thriving, posting promotions and vacations while he scrolled in the dark. The darkness deepened. Nights became battles with insomnia and regret. James questioned every decision. Should he have changed careers earlier, saved more aggressively, been more present with Sarah? He lost weight, appetite faded, and the mirror showed a stranger. Sunken eyes, unshaven, defeated. Some evenings he drove aimlessly through the city, watching life continue without him. The fear wasn't just financial, it was existential. Who was he without his job, his routine, his relationship? One particularly low night, rain hammering the windows, James hit bottom. Sitting on the living room floor back against the wall, tears came unbidden.
In that moment of raw despair, he remembered a gift from his grandfather on his 21st birthday, a worn copy of Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. His grandfather, a quiet man who had endured hardship with grace, had said, "Read this when life gets hard." James had shelved it, unread. Now he pulled it down, dust falling from the cover. He opened randomly. "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The words struck like lightning. James read on, devouring pages. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, faced plagues, wars, betrayal, yet wrote daily reminders to himself about virtue, acceptance, and inner peace. James felt seen across 2 millennia. He learned about the dichotomy of control. Some things are up to us, thoughts, actions, character. Others are not, external events, opinions of others. The layoff, Sarah's departure, the economy, these were not up to him. But his response was, this realization became his lifeline. Each morning, James began with 5 minutes of quiet breathing, reminding himself what he could control that day. He made lists, apply to jobs, learn a new skill, exercise, eat properly. Small achievable tasks restored a sense of agency. He started walking again, not for fitness, but for clarity, feeling the air fill his lungs. When anxious thoughts about money or rejection surged, he observed them without judgment, letting them pass. Epictetus, the former slave turned philosopher, became his next teacher. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. James applied this to the breakup. The pain was real, but his story, that it meant he was unworthy, was optional. He journaled nightly, examining emotions honestly. Seneca warned that we suffer more in imagination than reality. James practiced premeditation of evils, visualizing worst outcomes, prolonged unemployment, financial ruin, to rob them of terror. Preparation brought strange calm. Practices became habits. Memento mori, remember death, shifted perspective. Life is finite. Why waste it on worry? Amor fati, love of fate, taught embracing what comes. The layoff forced growth he had avoided. He sold non-essentials, embraced minimalism, found joy in simple things. A good book, a home-cooked meal, a sunset from his balcony.
Months passed. Freelance gigs trickled in, small projects that paid modestly but reminded him his skills remained valuable. He started a blog sharing Stoic lessons applied to modern crises, job loss, uncertainty, relationships. Readers responded, sharing their struggles. Purpose returned, not from title or salary, but from helping others. Sarah reached out eventually. They met at their old cafe. Conversation was honest, without blame. She admitted her own stresses had contributed. James shared how Stoicism had changed him. They didn't rush reconciliation, but parted with mutual respect and possibility. As 2025 ended, news highlighted 2026 uncertainties: AI job displacement, economic shifts, global tensions. But James felt prepared. Stoicism had forged resilience. He entered the new year with rituals: morning journaling of 3 things in his control, evening gratitude for what remained. Opportunities emerged. Freelance work grew steady. His blog evolved into a podcast, reaching thousands seeking guidance for uncertain times. Sarah and he rebuilt slowly, stronger for the lessons learned. But the greatest change was internal: peace amid chaos, strength and acceptance. Looking back, James saw 2025 not as destruction but transformation. The losses stripped illusions, revealing what truly mattered: virtue, presence, inner freedom. Stoicism wasn't escape, it was engagement with life on life's terms. For anyone facing 2026's unknowns, his story offers hope. Control what you can, accept what you can't, turn obstacles into growth. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In embracing this, James found not just survival, but thriving, from chaos to inner peace.